Well, Coach Prime is under fire right now, and there's some hot water for something that I seen looming, I seen coming. After every loss now, Coach Prime, he goes to the media up on the podium and he criticizes his offensive line. Now, we knew that coming into this year, he was only scheduled to win about 2 games. They was like 1-11 last year. He used the portal and brought in a lot of new talent, but the offense and defensive line hasn't been good enough. And they were saying between next year and the year after that, in recruits, they should be okay. But after every loss now, Deion is criticizing his young offensive line, and these are young players. These are young guys. They're not professionals. His job is to protect the psyche and the mindset of these players because they still have a lot of games that they got to play. They have to go out and play for Coach Prime. But I said this to one of my friends. I said, yo, they talk too much, at these press conferences instead of just saying, hey, we got to do a better job. We know the assignment. He goes and he just throws shots at the players a lot of times. And I love Deion, and I'm praising when he's doing well. But I'm not a yes man. I'm also call out certain things that I don't like. But let's look at what Deion had to say when he hit the podium. And also he's being criticized by people of color because of some things that happened. And we'll talk about that more into this video. Let's check this out.
Coach, you mentioned the coaching aspect of it as well.
Yes, sir.
Specifically with the offensive line, I mean, what has to improve in that aspect besides from
the line has to improve. It ain't no aspect. The line has to improve.
We talked about run-pass balance a lot.
Yeah.
I think it was up until that last drive, you had maybe 7 carries with running backs, you had like 34 passes.
Yeah.
How much of that is a struggle for you guys right now?
Well, it's a struggle to run the ball. It's a struggle to run the ball, and we got to figure that out because now you're one-dimensional, and it's easy to stop a team when they're one-dimensional, and that's who we are at this point in time.
Could you follow up on that? Could being able to commit to that, you talked about running.
Commit to what?
Running the ball. Could that help?
I think we committed to it on a first down, and we was 2nd and 15. Those are the type of things you don't want to do and get behind the 8 ball. First downs are so vital. First downs are everything. I mean, first downs are when we held them statistically on first downs, it was hard for them to move the ball as well. And when we're getting negative yards on first down, that's a tremendous loss. Because now you're going to throw the ball on 2nd down, and they're calling their defenses pertaining to that loss.
I just asked that in terms of the big picture, trying to keep Shador upright, healthy, overall.
The big picture, you go get new linemen. That's the picture, and I'm going to paint it perfectly.
But, he said, Coach Sanders says O-line has to improve, which is this is true. I'm with him on that. But when he said he got to go out and get more, he got to get new offensive linemen. And he going to paint the picture beautifully or something like that. See, that's where you're going to lose them. I'm telling you now. He made that comment like this to NFL or something, man. See, NFL players have an incentive, financial incentive. You don't play, go out and get somebody that will play. They'll play a little harder because the job's on the line. But you talking about young men who are not only not as physical matured as NFL players, but emotionally too. Tell you now, the offensive line, the most important position on the football field. You don't do anything without an O-line. You ain't running the ball, you ain't passing the ball, you ain't snapping the ball. You're not doing anything if you don't have an offensive line. And they'll quit on them. And I can tell you that, making comments like that, that's not going to make offensive linemen on the block. It's not. Because what they thinking, they like. Because if they're playing like that and they're still starting, they know that Coach Sanders needs them. So if they start giving less than 100%, you think Shador Sanders and that offense got some problems now. Yeah, they got to play better. I'm pretty sure they know that. That's what you grade players for after games. But to go out and like you talking to NFL players, they got to go out and get new offensive linemen. Bro, you still got a lot of season left.
So I believe that Doc Holliday gave him fair criticism. I actually agree with Doc Holliday on that part. You're dealing with the fragile minds of young men that's trying their best to make it to the NFL. Most are never going to make it. And some of them are just not good enough, but you still have, these are the soldiers that you have to play with. And as the captain, as the leader, you have to lead the troops. But if you go into the media saying you're going to replace them every week, you know, this is not the NFL. These are not paid mercenaries or paid players. You know, these are young kids. So I definitely agree with Doc and what he was saying in that assessment, and that's something that maybe Coach Prime can learn from, because he can't just have a bunch of yes men. I mean, we love Coach Prime, but he don't do everything right all the time. He's not above criticism. He makes mistakes as well. But he's facing backlash now. If y'all remember what he said on the podium at JSU when he believes some stuff had got robbed. Let's check that out.
Start off by saying, God bless you, appreciate you and everything. I'm pissed off right now because I had mixed emotions. We won, the kids played really well. But while the game was going on, somebody came in and stole every darn thing I had in my locker room.
Oh
the
my
coach's
God.
office.
Oh my God.
Yeah, credit cards, wallet, watches. Thank God I had on my necklaces. How?
Oh, mercy.
So when I talk about quality, raising standards, that goes for everyone, man. Not just the people on the field, not just the coaches, not just the teachers, not just the faculty, but that's everybody, security in everybody.
There's some messages that's on Deion Sanders Jr.'s page where players were robbed during the UCLA game in the Rose Bowl, and you know it's swirling around now and it's being talked about. A lot of people, there's a couple women at JSU alma mater. They're expecting Deion to keep that same energy that he had when he ran to the media, talking about things were stolen from the locker room at JSU, when that wasn't the case. It wasn't the case. Nothing was stolen. It turned out that the security moved his stuff and put it to a more secure place at the time. Deion didn't know, and he was upset, and you know he was angry after that. He went to the media, but it never really came back and was as loud as it was when he actually made the accusations. So a lot of people took to social media and really ran with that, but Deion Sanders was never robbed at JSU. None of his stuff was never stolen. But what we do know is here at UCLA, his stuff has been stolen. And now people are asking him to keep that same energy with UCLA that he had with the black college. So let's check out, you know, let's check out what Doc Holliday had to say about that, and we'll come right back.
Hey, Deion, Coach Prime, you may see this, you may not, but I don't know if it's a question, but I remember when you went off, when you were coaching at Jackson State, when you said somebody stole all your stuff out of the coach's locker room, and you pretty much lambasted the university, lambasted the city, and how could that happen? You know, seemed to be pretty peed off, and seemed to be going at the school and the university pretty hard, and the football program pretty hard at Jackson State. Now, according to reports, the same thing just happened at the Rose Bowl when y'all were playing UCLA. So really need to see that same kind of energy and that same kind of outrage that you were showing when you were at Jackson State.
So Deion clapped back to Holliday on Twitter, and he responded by, "My brother, move on with your life. I have, and I'm too blessed to be stressed with yesterday's inconsistencies. You're talking about two whole different circumstances. God bless you. He's sure blessed me," Sanders wrote. So Doc heard that, but then Doc took back the clap back, and he responded back with this. Let's check this out.
Groupies, fans, enthusiasts, loyalists, I understand, I get it. Y'all jumped to his defense because I posed the question to him. But what y'all don't understand is that all the disparaging remarks y'all make about me and everything that you say, I don't get into the name calling on social media, but you are entitled to your opinion, and just like I'm entitled to mine, you know what I'm saying? But if y'all go through and look, You all will see videos and posts where I defended Coach Prime and his son and Shador, but I still pose the question. Your players say their stuff got stolen and robbed at UCLA. And you should have came out and went off and had that same energy when you thought your stuff got robbed at Jackson State, when it didn't get robbed. A very professional and considerate staff member of yours at Jackson State moved your stuff and placed it somewhere secure. But you didn't try to find that out before you went to the media to push the narrative about Jackson State being unprofessional and they're stealing and doing all this. That's the kind of stuff you talk about when you talk about elevating the program, when your stuff didn't get stolen. Now, people say, where's the difference? He was at home. He was on the road. No, stuff gets stolen. Your stuff gets stolen. I play football. I'd be just as mad if my stuff got stolen at a road game than I would at home.
Okay, let me address this. You know, our kids got robbed during the game last week. I think that's a travesty, and I would expect the NCAA to do something about that. These are college kids. I'm pretty sure they don't think about insurance at this point in this juncture in their life. We've talked about NILs and how to really maintain their finances. We've pretty much given them financial planners and given them the resources for that. But the insurance part of it, we slipped, and we didn't really educate them on that. So I wish, I know the kids would be forthright in what was stolen, and some of our just staff members as well. And now all that stuff should be replaced. This is the Rose Bowl. They said the granddaddy of them all, right? I'm sure granddaddy has some money. Grandpa should have some money to get these kids. I'm gonna have a list made out from these young men, and I know they're gonna be truthful about what they lost, so we could try to get that back for them. They may not be able to get the items back, but we should be able to reimburse them. That was unbelievable. But I did hear that the home team was robbed as well. So I don't know, but I did hear that. But that don't make no sense when you're out there balling and playing your heart out, and you're getting robbed in the same aspect. So I hope we could do something about that NCAA. You do something about everything else. Do something about that. When it comes to kids, in regards to the kids, NCAA, you do something about everything else. Do something about this one.
In closing, I'm a supporter of Deion. I was hoping that he would have stayed at JSU, but I'm a supporter. What I don't like, though, I don't like the kids wearing rollies on the side, wearing rollies and flashing the rollies and all that kind of stuff. You know, these are college kids. I don't have a problem with them making the money, but there has to be a discipline with it too. You know what I mean? You know, us OGs like us know what it's like to be young, and then you're giving millions of dollars, but you don't have the wisdom to go with the money. And so I like to have some type of order there. The reason why the stuff is getting robbed and stolen now, because they're flashing jewelry and stuff like that, and a lot of people can see that they have the jewelry, so they're coming for it when they feel like it's not being watched. So my criticisms to Deion would be, stop talking so much to the media about your young players and your fragile players. Because right now, you know, they're getting the offensive line and defensive line is getting the you know what kicked out of them, because a lot of them isn't good enough. But your job is to protect your players at all times and on all levels. And also with now the part of these kids getting these NIL deals, also protect them from themselves. That's your job. So I like Doc Holliday. Doc Holliday, he gives Deion praise, but he also gives Deion criticism. He does a great job down there at Memphis during the Memphis basketball games. And lastly, Tennessee State. You know, a lot of people, damn, what's his name? George, the running back from the Titans. Damn, I'm drawing a blank right now. Eddie George. Eddie George right now is the coach down there. I don't see no black people supporting or even mentioning Eddie George. Nobody's saying anything about what's going on down there at Tennessee State. And, you know, everybody was in an uproar when Deion left JSU, but nobody cares about what's going on over there with Eddie George. The hypocrisy of our people, man. But this is, I'm giving my opinion and my criticisms of Deion. There's a lot of things that I like. There's some things that I don't like. And these are things that I feel like Deion can learn from, to become even better, because he already has the spotlight on him and they're coming against him. So he has to protect himself and his players at all costs, man, because they don't want to see him win. They don't want to see him win. So I'm going to cut this video short here. Leave your comments in the comment section. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.